Domestic violence is a pattern of behavior used to establish power and control over another person using fear and intimidation, often including the threat or use of violence. It has no preference to gender, race, sexuality, age, or ethnicity. It has become a mutant gene that we haven't found the antibiotics for yet. Through prescribing and diagnosing the disease, finding a medicine to attack germs, treatment and recovery, diseases as deadly as domestic violence can be cured. Yes, it can. The first step to curing a societal disease like domestic violence is acknowledging the problem. But whose responsibility is it to address the issue? The homes, the schools, the churches? The answer is all of the above. We as a nation need to cast a darkness over the crimes of domestic violence before it spreads more and becomes a pandemic. It is an age-old problem that, unfortunately, due to recent cases of domestic violence among celebrities, has bubbled up to the surface. In 2009, Chris Brown got in a physical fight with Rihanna. In the same year, Charlie Sheen was reported for choking his wife. In 1998, both Dennis Rodman and his wife were arrested for domestic battery. How can we spread awareness of the atrocities of domestic violence if celebrities are promoting it with their actions? While the notoriety of celebrities has shown a light on the subject, the biggest blow of all is that the average citizen committing these crimes continues to get ignored, and these crimes continue to haunt generations to come. Here's the diagnosis. The issue is not only within the cases of domestic violence, but within our nation as a whole. Our nonchalant attitude about domestic violence only encourages people to continue it because there are no severe consequences. We should be up in arms against domestic violence cases like we are against crimes such as murder and rape, because battering is the murdering of dreams and the raping of souls. Domestic violence is a plague news stations everywhere. The number of American troops killed in Afghanistan and Iraq between 2001 and 2012 was 6,488. The number of American women who were murdered by current or ex-male partners during that time period was 11,766. Yet, news about the war continues to be a top story. I'm in no way saying that the war isn't important, but I strongly believe that domestic violence should be among top stories. We have lost touch with the grassroots of the nation, and in order to connect again, we must start spreading information and statistics of domestic violence. There's a lot of information out there that people should know, but don't. Each minute, 20 people are affected by domestic violence. 10 million children are exposed to domestic violence each year. People should know these startling facts. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. There's no big campaign to advertise it. The facts and risks of domestic violence need to be spread to the general public, because without knowledge, people will continue to ignore the issue. Once the issue has been acknowledged and diagnosed, direct action must be taken. An antibiotic must be prescribed to attack offenders. This can be accomplished by making sure batterers get punished. This is the hardest part, because according to Huffington Post, only 25% of assaults actually get reported. The top 3 reasons for people not reporting domestic reports are fear of further violence from their attackers, feelings of shame and embarrassment, and a belief that the incident was too unimportant or trivial. These 3 reasons can be solved if our society would change its perspective of domestic violence. The people who are being abused can't be hurt more if the abuser is in jail or rehab. There should be a harsher punishment for domestic violence. This will lessen the chance of someone being hurt after report abuse and lessen the cases in general. Our society glances over domestic violence like it's bound to happen, like it's not if, but when. This leads to people feeling embarrassed or like they're overreacting when they file a report. And that goes back to spreading the word about domestic violence to ensure that people know it's a serious matter. The cure to domestic violence isn't hard to find. We must take action. Instead of knocking out our lives, let's knock out silly myths that putting your lady in her place is cool. Instead of slapping down our children, let's slap down heavy ridicule and jail sentences to those who dare harm a child. Instead of demolishing self-esteem, let's demolish the evil that domestic violence has done to our society. create a ripple effect that sends shockwaves across the nation. Because while I have spoken for 5 minutes about curing domestic violence, 100 people have been affected by it. Now tell me, what are you going to do?